So I was talking to a cop the other day, and he and I were agreeing on the same stuff I've been talking to you guys about, that principals are all saying, which is that it feels like the social fabric is coming apart at the seams, that people can't handle hardship, like basic pain, and you know, not to mention when real tragedy takes place, and that drugs and addiction and other things are right there ready to tear them apart. One of the things that I've been looking at with kids is, what are the beliefs that are at the heart of a kid who's struggling and maybe even failing? What are those beliefs that sabotage? So there's three beliefs that I want to tackle. One of them is the self-esteem belief, which is really like the beginnings of narcissism. What self-esteem wants to do is lie to you and say that there's nothing wrong with you. You know, that you're perfect the way you are, etc., etc. And of course, we all know that's not true. So I want to replace the message of self-esteem and that you're amazing and every kid is smart. I want to replace that with a belief in purpose. I want kids to find a purpose that's so big that it swallows them up. I mean, is that really it? It swallows them up? That their self-esteem, whether they are awesome or not awesome, becomes completely secondary. And what becomes primary is this amazing work that they get to do to serve a purpose. Another belief I want to get rid of is this belief that I deserve. I deserve to indulge, and I deserve to be selfish because I've worked hard. And I want to tell you, I want to warn you, I've seen this time and time again in myself and in others, that feeling of I deserve to indulge is a sign that you're beginning to swing on that pendulum of a power struggler, struggling with yourself and with others. And the reason that you feel like you deserve to indulge is because you're trying to prove something. And proving something, proving your own worth, your own goodness, is exhausting. And you were never meant to do it. You just weren't. And can I challenge you, some moms right now, that maybe encouraging each other to drink wine all the time as an indulgence is not the healthiest outlet for your stress? There's so much guilt around being a mom in particular. I don't know a lot of dads who feel a lot of guilt that they're not measuring up as a dad, but man, the moms, it's like an epidemic. And so it's time to turn away from that guilt, that desire, that need to prove, and maybe it's time to rearrange your life to get rid of some of that guilt. But avoid the indulging. Avoid it. It's a dangerous game, which is not the same as enjoying. Because when you're indulging, when you're trying to numb the guilt and the pain, you're not enjoying. You're not. And it can lead to addiction, of course. Third belief is the victim mentality that I see destroying kids, where they're blaming other people for their problems. Maybe it's their family, maybe it's society. Blaming is like the little cousin to bullying. Because all bullies believe that the victim deserved it, either because they were weak or because maybe, you know, in the worst cases, the whole world deserves it. And that blame shifting mentality, that blame shifting can go to a really dark place. And as I've studied and looked into what is in the mind and the heart of a school shooter, you know, something I have to think about, blame is at the heart of it every time. Because you might be right that it is their fault, but to focus on it can destroy you. All right, so what kind of strength do we need? We need relational strength. We need to be able to resolve conflicts and misunderstandings. We need to be able to forgive. We need to be able to care for others well, even when we're tired. Second kind of strength is emotional strength, especially around negative emotions, sadness, anger, fear. Those things can tear you apart, and so it's time to get strong. Third thing is about disciplinary strength. How are you going to strengthen your own resolve that when you make a plan, you can carry it out? Not to prove that you're good enough, you know, not to lose weight so that you're more worthy of love. No, but because hard work is being strong is good. Be good for goodness sake, right? That's what Santa Claus said, and he was right. So what I want to do is I want to do more than just get strong myself. I even want to do more than helping the kids at my school. I feel like for me, it's time to do more. It's time to reach out to the parents and the community as a whole. And so one of the ways that I'm doing that is supporting something called Young Life. It's new in our community. It's just getting started, in fact. If you're in my community, or even if you're not and you're interested in supporting Young Life, I would encourage you to check it out. I'm going to include a link below. It's a Christian ministry that's focused mostly on high schoolers and middle schoolers, and it goes beyond that. And my hope is that by reaching some of these high schoolers, that in 5 and in 10 years, when their kids arrive here, they'll be more prepared for what it takes to do well in school. My name is Luke, and this is Parent Academy. I hope it helps.